Is there like mistakes you've seen? Like with, I don't know, you've probably spoken to a lot of other doctors or other people in the field of practice, right? Have you seen like what are some common mistakes people run into that they should do instead?
I can't really say that that's happening anymore because
Mm,
in the chiropractic profession, in many of the professions, there are so many consultants out there that will come in and organize your practice for you that there's or at least set up an organization for you then to step into and then to run. But
mm.
I can't say I come across that anymore.
Interesting. And I guess for people, a great knowledge for them is like, because I know for a lot of people who are, doctors or who are they have their own practice in chiropractic, that, they obviously go to school to learn their practice, but they never actually went to school for business, right? So they don't really have a concept on how to run a business or how to grow and expand their own practice, right? Is there a
Usually,
way yeah,
usually
go ahead.
when they get out of school, usually they'll get hooked up with a consulting firm
Mhm.
that will come in and set up their practice. So look at what the existing practice is, and then it will reorganize it into what the optimal practice would be, and show them all the steps that they have to go through.
Yeah. It's very interesting what you mentioned about the mental, the physical aspects, but also just in the business aspect, because, a lot of people are just not really, I think, I find a lot of people that I've met who just starting their own practice are not super equipped in understanding what is kind of happening in the business, right? So you've obviously you've done practices for a number of years, right? So like you've experienced a lot of things,
Hmm.
with people and how they interact with their clients or how they interact with their staff, you know, in terms of your staff, like how do you, you know, as a business owner yourself, how do you actually handle and educate your staff to how the organization operates?
Well, we very early on put together a book for staff members
Mm,
that explained every job there was that someone could have in the practice, and
mm,
how you do that job. It would be thought of as like from the old times in the railroad industry. It would be called hatting. What hat the person's wearing. That the conductor of the train wears a hat, the engineer wears a hat, and in your business, everybody wears a hat, and everyone has to have have instructions for that hat, so the person knows what their hat is. What is the product of your hat? What is your hat supposed to do? What's it supposed to do for the practice, or what is its valuable product? And then you go about how it is that you reach that point. What are the actions that you take to perform your job correctly, so you have this valuable product at the end as an end result? And then that becomes your statistic, which becomes measured. And that measuring that shows your efficiency.
right.
And this is what we
Wow.
did, and this is what most people do nowadays, and this is what the job of the consultants is to come in and set up your practice in that manner.
Awesome.